There are moments in life when what you are going through isn't ordinary. The isolation, the attacks, the spiritual weight you carry, it's not by accident. It's not just life happening. It is a sign that heaven has marked you, that your spirit carries something far greater than what the world can see. When God anoints you dangerously, your life becomes both a weapon, a target. You'll know it by the signs. There is a moment in your life when you begin to realize that the people, places, and even habits that once made you feel alive no longer feed your spirit. Suddenly, invitations you once craved feel empty. Conversations that once kept you entertained now drain you. And the company that once made you feel seen now leaves you feeling misunderstood. It is not because you are broken or because something is wrong with you. It is because heaven has set you apart. Isolation is never random. It is a divine strategy. When God anoints you for something greater, He must first detach you from what is lesser. The truth is, He cannot pour the oil of destiny into a vessel still clinging to the comfort of the crowd. He cannot whisper eternal secrets into ears too distracted by the noise of the world. So He begins to strip away, to separate, to pull you into a season where you are hidden. And while it feels like rejection, it is really protection. You are not being punished. You are being preserved. The anointing you carry is dangerous because it cannot be contaminated by ordinary associations. The higher the calling, the tighter the circle. Some will not understand why you withdraw, why you stop showing up, why you no longer fit the patterns of yesterday. They will call you distant, strange, or even arrogant. But you know deep inside that this loneliness is sacred. It is in this solitude that God forges steel into your spirit, where He sharpens your discernment, where He burns away the dependence on human validation. It is in this hidden place that your roots grow deep, unseen by men, but nourished by heaven. And when the time comes for you to be revealed, the strength you carry will not be fragile because it was forged in silence. So when you feel cut off, do not despise it. When friends fade, when circles close, when the crowd no longer welcomes you, do not panic. It is the signature of the dangerous anointing. For every David must spend time alone with his sheep before standing before giants. Every Joseph must endure a pit before standing in a palace. Every Esther must be hidden before she is crowned. Your isolation is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your destiny. When the anointing rests heavily on your life, battles you never asked for begin to surround you. It feels like the moment you decide to walk upright, storms rise up from every side. People you trusted suddenly turn against you. Opportunities collapse at the last second. Attacks come out of nowhere, and sometimes they are so relentless that you wonder if you are cursed. But in truth, it is not a curse, it is confirmation. The level of warfare in your life is evidence of the level of oil on your spirit. Darkness does not waste energy fighting what does not threaten it. You are not under attack because of what you have done wrong. You are under attack because of what you carry. The enemy has seen a glimpse of your future, and he is terrified of what you will become if you reach it. That is why pressure mounts against you the closer you move toward your purpose. Every betrayal, every false accusation, every obstacle is designed to break your spirit, to convince you to abandon the path God has laid out for you. But what the enemy intends for destruction, God uses as training. These battles are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to build you. They sharpen your endurance. They strengthen your prayer life. They deepen your dependence on God. Without the battle, you would never discover the warrior that lives inside you. Without the fight, you would never learn how dangerous your faith truly is. And sometimes the attacks are not even external. They come from within. Thoughts of doubt, waves of fear, whispers that you are not enough. These are spiritual weapons designed to weaken your confidence, because the enemy knows if he can get you to doubt yourself, you will never walk fully in your anointing. Yet even here, God uses the warfare to reveal His strength. When you rise again after being knocked down, when you keep moving forward despite the scars, when you still praise even in pain, you prove that the anointing on you is greater than the darkness against you. So if your life feels like a battlefield, do not mistake it as a sign of weakness. See it for what it is, proof that you are marked. You are targeted because you are chosen. You are attacked because you are dangerous. And the warfare you face is not a sign to retreat. It is a signal that your destiny is near. There comes a shift in your spirit when the anointing becomes dangerous. You begin to see what others cannot. It is as if a veil is lifted from your eyes, and suddenly you discern the truth beneath the surface. Smiles that hide deception are no longer convincing. Words laced with hidden motives lose their charm. You walk into a room and feel the atmosphere before anyone even speaks. This is not ordinary intelligence, and it is not learned through books. It is divine wisdom, a spiritual discernment that only comes from God's hand upon your life. With it, you begin to understand people beyond their masks, to detect opportunities that are not truly opportunities, to sense traps before they close in. This gift unsettles others because they cannot manipulate you the way they manipulate the rest. It makes you a threat to the plans of darkness because you are not easily deceived. But this wisdom is not only for defense, it is also for direction. When doors open, you feel in your spirit which ones are meant for you and which ones are distractions dressed as blessings. While others chase after what looks shiny, you wait patiently for what is ordained. That patience is not weakness, it is spiritual intelligence. Dangerous anointing teaches you that not every good thing is a God thing, and not every path that looks easy leads to destiny. Discernment allows you to step carefully, avoiding pitfalls that could have destroyed you had you leaned only on human understanding. At times, this clarity feels heavy. You wish you could be naive, just accept people at face value, just walk blindly into things without sensing the hidden layers. But the anointing does not allow you to live in illusions. It forces you to see truth even when it hurts. It makes you aware of battles others ignore, and it pushes you to respond with wisdom when others react with impulse. This spiritual vision can feel lonely because very few understand what it is like to see life from this higher perspective. Yet in the end, it is this very discernment that protects you, guides you, and sets you apart. It keeps you aligned with your calling, even when everything around you tries to pull you away. It is one of the clearest signs that you are dangerously anointed, because God has entrusted you with sight that pierces through deception, ensuring you will not be stopped by what blinds others. There is a weight that rests on the shoulders of those dangerously anointed, a burden invisible to the eyes of others, but undeniable to the one who carries it. It is not the heaviness of ordinary stress or the pressure of daily struggles. It is something deeper, something spiritual, something eternal. You feel it when you walk into a place where injustice lingers and your spirit refuses to sit quietly. You feel it when you see brokenness in people and your heart aches for their healing as though their pain is your own. This weight follows you even in silence, making you restless in spaces where others feel comfortable, pulling you out of shallow conversations, dragging you away from meaningless pursuits. While others can live lightly, laughing without care, your spirit carries a responsibility that will not let you settle. This burden is not punishment, it is evidence of calling. God has placed something inside you that demands expression, a fire that refuses to stay hidden. You wake up in the middle of the night, not simply because you are restless, but because heaven is stirring you to pray, to intercede, to wrestle in the unseen for victories that others may never know were fought. You may not always understand why your heart feels heavy, why you cannot ignore what others dismiss, but the truth is that the anointing sharpens your sensitivity to what matters in eternity. You are marked to carry a load that is bigger than your own life, and that responsibility is the sign of your destiny. Yet this weight can be lonely, because those around you may not feel it. They might not understand why you withdraw to be alone, why your laughter fades quickly, or why you are moved to tears over things that barely touch them. They cannot see what you see, and they cannot feel what you feel. But that is because the assignment is not theirs. It is yours. And while it may feel overwhelming at times, remember that God never places a burden without also giving the strength to bear it. This unseen weight is what propels you forward when you would rather quit. It keeps your spirit alive when your body is weary. It reminds you that your life is not your own, but a vessel chosen to carry something greater. To be dangerously anointed is to live with this holy restlessness, a constant reminder that you were born not just to exist, but to shift atmospheres, to heal wounds, and to fulfill a divine purpose that the world desperately needs. There is something unexplainable about the way you keep rising when everything in life tries to bury you. Others look at your story and wonder how you are still standing. They saw the betrayals, the failures, the losses that should have broken you. They witnessed storms that swallowed stronger people whole, yet somehow you emerged, bruised but not destroyed. This is not normal resilience. It is supernatural resilience. It is the evidence of dangerous anointing, the mark of someone chosen by God to endure what would crush the ordinary. Every time you are knocked down, something within you refuses to stay down. Every time your spirit is pressed, it produces strength instead of surrender. This resilience is not born in comfort. It is forged in fire. It comes from battles that left scars, from nights spent wrestling with doubt, from seasons where you had nothing to hold on to except your faith. Each time you thought it was the end, grace lifted you again. And each rise made you stronger than before, harder to break, more prepared for the weight of destiny. That is why people misunderstand you. They assume you are fearless, but the truth is you have felt fear and chosen to move forward anyway. They assume you are unshakable, but they don't know the nights you cried in silence, begging God for strength. Yet here you are unshaken, not because you never fell, but because you never stayed down. This unstoppable resilience is what makes you dangerous. The enemy does not fear those who never fall. He fears those who rise every time they do, because such a person cannot be permanently defeated. Every setback becomes a setup for growth. Every wound becomes a testimony. Every failure becomes fuel for a greater comeback. You become a living example of endurance, a beacon of hope for those who have given up. Your resilience exposes the truth that God's power is greater than any darkness, that His hand on your life is stronger than any opposition. So when life strikes you and people wonder how you still move forward, let them wonder. You know the truth. It is not your strength alone that keeps you. It is the dangerous anointing resting on your spirit, an unshakable grace that refuses to let you be defeated. You are proof that resilience is not just surviving, it is thriving despite the storms, shining brighter after every fall, and standing taller after every trial. When the anointing on your life is dangerous, doors begin to open that you never knocked on. Opportunities appear in ways that cannot be explained by talent, education, or connections. People you never expected to notice you suddenly speak your name in rooms you've never entered. Favor follows you like a shadow, not because you forced it, but because heaven has stamped approval on your journey. And while this divine favor brings blessings, it also provokes battles. Not everyone will celebrate what God is doing in your life. Some will admire you, but many will envy you. Some will be inspired by your rise, but others will be offended by it. The anointing attracts favor, but it also exposes hidden hearts. You will notice how certain people begin to distance themselves once doors open for you. They liked you when you were struggling, but your elevation unsettles them. Your success reminds them of their own stagnation, and instead of clapping for you, they compete with you. This is the paradox of dangerous anointing. Your favor from God can make you a target for man, but do not shrink back. Do not dim your light to make others comfortable. The very jealousy you face is proof that you are walking in uncommon grace. Divine favor is disruptive because it cannot be explained logically. People will wonder why you were chosen and not them, why you were promoted while they were overlooked, why your path seems to flow while theirs remains blocked. But what they fail to see is the cost of your oil, the isolation, the warfare, the burdens you carried in silence. They see the crown, but they do not see the crushing that produced it. Favor is not free, it is birthed from struggle. That is why only those who have walked through fire can stand under its weight. So when envy rises against you, when whispers circulate, when opposition comes not from strangers, but from those close to you, remember this, it is not about you. It is about the anointing on your life. The same God who opened the door will sustain you inside it, and no amount of jealousy, resistance, or sabotage can cancel what heaven has ordained. The dangerous anointing does not just bring blessings, it brings evidence. Evidence that God's hand is on you. Evidence that no man can stop what he has started. Evidence that favor is the signature of the chosen. The truth is, to be dangerously anointed is not an easy path. It is a road of isolation where you are set apart and misunderstood. It is a road of warfare where attacks come not because you are weak, but because you are marked. It is a road of wisdom where your eyes are open to see what others cannot. It is a road of burdens where your heart carries weight beyond your own life. It is a road of resilience where you rise again and again, no matter how many times life tries to bury you. And it is a road of favor where doors open supernaturally even as envy and opposition rise against you. But every sign, every battle, every sleepless night is proof of one unshakable truth. You are chosen. Your life has been set apart as a weapon in God's hands, a vessel that cannot be silenced, a light that darkness cannot extinguish. You are not ordinary and you cannot live as if you are. The cost is heavy, but the reward is eternal. The world may not understand it and people may resist it, but heaven recognizes it. You are dangerously anointed by God.